Hi, I'm Jeff Graham, Product Support Technician with Epiroc. Today I'll be going over how to inspect an SB breaker. First, we're going to start by removing the tool. We're going to start by driving out the pin, the retaining pin that holds the two retainer bars. And we'll remove the tool. Now, the critical wear limits are the way the breaker works, so they're going to be front to back. So it's important that you're checking the areas where the bushing and the tool wear the most. So when we measure the bushing, we're going to measure in just above the wiper seal, and where the actual bushing, where the tool rides, we want to go about 1/2 inch in, and you always measure front to back. The tools that I use are a metric ruler, set of spring calipers, and friction calipers for measuring the tool. So when we measure the bushing, about 1/2 inch in, we make sure that it's straight. A little bit of drag, and then you can measure out on the ruler to see what your wear limit is. Always make sure that you check with the operator's instructions per model. All the different models have a different wear limit, so always make sure you check with the operator's instructions to make sure you're getting the most accurate information. When we measure the tool, you want to make sure that the way the tool rides, so you see that the retainer bars are here, so this would be either the front or the back. And we want to find, normally you would have a wear spot, so you want to measure the smallest part of the tool where the most amount of wear is, measure it, and then check with your metric ruler. And once you've measured the tool and identified that the tool and the bushing are still within tolerance, before you reinstall the tool to put the breaker back to work, we always want to make sure that the grease cavity and the ports are clear. So we'll use a manual grease gun. Install the grease gun. You usually get it several pumps of grease until you see the grease visible coming out of the bushings. Also, before we install the tool, we want to put a small thin coating of grease on the tool and also a thin coat inside the bushings. Okay, so now we're going to go over how to check the high pressure accumulator. Sometimes it's helpful if you use a punch and a hammer to give the plug a quick tap. And remove the plug with an Allen key. We also have an adapter in the service box. Sometimes it's helpful to remove the small O-ring that's on the adapter so that you can use a wrench to tighten it and secure it in place. And we'll hook our nitrogen hose to the adapter. Then we'll open our bottle, our nitrogen bottle, and we'll charge, for this particular breaker, we're going to charge it to 40 bar. Once you've reached 40 bar, then use a 13mm wrench to open the charge valve up on the very top. You go about 2 full turns. And check your gauge. As long as the gauge doesn't drop down, then you know you're good. If the gauge drops off completely and you've lost your nitrogen, then you know that the diaphragm may be blown and need to be repaired. So once you've checked it, we'll close off our valve. Close off our tank and remove our filling hose. Remove our adapter. Install the plug. And again, always make sure that you're checking, verify with the operator's instructions that you have the correct nitrogen charge when checking, and also your bushing measurements. For more information, please contact our Epiroc Service Center or your local dealer.